What's happening, people? Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out Podcast. We've got another exciting episode for you. Us brothers are going to be discussing real-world issues. We're going to be reviewing a few movies that we watched, The Killer specifically. We're going to go through some MCU news, some DCU news, and then some other news. Guys, as always, check the description if you don't want to hear about the real-world issues or stuff that us brothers have been up to. Please go to the description. The timestamp will be there. You can skip straight to the news, the Geek Out news, the movie reviews. You have the flexibility to go wherever you want to go in the show. As always, joined by Kibbs. Kibbs, how you doing, man?
Something, bro. We did that intro twice, but he got there in the end, which is great. He got there in the end, which is great.
Bro, listen, conversations, we can have a conversation. When you have to say something and try and be accurate, check out my Beetlejuice review. Bro, it's the worst. I hate it. Anyway, sorry, how you doing?
No, good. Yeah, no, there's a lot happening, guys. There's so much happening. Which is kind of nice because I get to step down and work in the background a little bit. So it's nice to be kind of like management in the background, like the project manager, making sure everything runs smoothly. I mean, we did some great shit this week. Like, we did 2 premieres, 2 screenings, one across the pond. We got our first Dubai premiere, which is amazing. So liaising with that and making that happen. And then Atia covered the UK one, which allows me to do my creative stuff as well in the background. I'm working back up in Birmingham as well. I'm back up there tomorrow. I'm working with the Gallery 37 crew, Punch Records, big shout outs to you guys. And we're doing this community roots thing where we bring all these talented artists between the ages of like 20 and sort of 30 and bring out their creativity, find work, look for things that they love doing, finding out about people, bro. Like, that's the one thing I think I love about having this opportunity to go up to Birmingham. And hopefully it's given me an idea to see what I can spread across London. Like, if I could do something like that in London. Because it's government funded, council funded, and it brings, the struggling artists together to try and get commissions, bro. And I know, and as an artist myself, what a struggle that is sometimes. And it's funny, I'm born and raised in London, and I'm having to find work in Birmingham, which is fine, to be honest. It's slowly become like my second home. I know which way to go. I've met them, like, got a little family there, which always, every time they find out I'm in Birmingham, they're always like, let's go link up for food when you get the chance. So it's a lovely opportunity. They've got their big show tomorrow. I'm a mentor. It's crazy, but they call me a mentor. I did a presentation last week when I was on a panel and it was talking about, we're going to still work and do other things. Like, I just told them that I've just taken the leap of faith to start. I'm 43 this year, and I'm taking the leap of faith now to try and start something from scratch again. Yeah, and it's saying that you can do that, but I know that your surroundings have to be not backing you, but supportive. Yeah, because it's not easy. So alhamdulillah, that went through. Nia started her first day at nursery yesterday. Lara started her first year in year 1. They're growing up quick, bro. Growing up so quick. It's unbelievable to watch them. Lara got this thing at the moment now, which is quite relaxing. She does this spa treatment thing at home. So I sit there, like, after she came back from school, she goes, like, I've opened the shop up. She got shop where she does the foot cream and face cream.
I feel sorry for her. Hair. I feel sorry for her touching your feet, bro. When she's older, she'll be like, what the hell? What did I do? Now she don't understand.
But it's given her the value of, she's doing a part-time job. And we pay her. So we are paying her. She's got a little money box where she puts her money in, and she'd be like 17,000. I'm like, excuse me? 17,000. I think you got that wrong.
That's that Dave Chappelle skit. $11,000. She should be like $17,000 crusty feet. Like, you know what I mean?
But alhamdulillah, really good. That's a good thing.
Love it.
Listen, guys, there's another thing as well. We've got a TeePublic store, Redbubble store, where you can get the podcast merch, which, again, that money, it reinvested back into the podcast. We haven't got to the point where we can monetize our podcast, but this will help finance us when it comes to kit or when we have to go travel to one of these events and things like that. So listen, check it out. We've got some really cool t-shirts and like stuff on there at the moment. It's funny having this time alone to find out that, there's other ways of, helping us grow. So we've got podcast merch. I mean, Gilman's wearing one of the recent caps. But yeah, listen, I had the not surgery, but I had the procedure last week Saturday for my back, which is weird. I've tried for almost years to maintain it with meditation, yoga, and a bit of training, but the pain has started to shoot down my legs, and it happened so quick because originally they said it would have been till January to get this injection, and then within a week it happened. Now, so basically, it's is it cortisol, which is something that we generate in our body during stress, uh, which for some reason I wasn't generating. No, sorry, how does it work?
Cortisol is I've heard about this, yeah. Cortisol, yeah, I can't remember.
So
Gotta Google
basically,
it.
they shot an injection, 7 of them, one with local anesthetic to numb the area, but I still felt the other big ones. It was 6 on each side of my lower back. I suffered degenerate disc disease. Guys, if any of you guys suffer that, check it out. If you're feeling like really bad tension in the lower lumbar support in your back, go check with your doctors because basically your back is worn out. So the only way I can work on this
Mm.
is keeping constant movement and maintain the pain. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
was
went for
gonna.
these injections, which is
It's a.
weird. The first day it was gone.
I was just gonna say. I was just gonna say, just to
Mm,
kind of confirm, cortisol is a steroid hormone in the
mm,
glucocorticoid. Bloody hell. I can't even read, and now I'm trying to read scientific words. But anyway, class of hormones as a stress hormone. It's a stress
mm.
hormone, which is used as medication. It is known as hydrocortisone. Hydrocortisone. Yeah, okay, there you go.
So that's pushed into my muscles, not into my actual spine or the nerves, and basically helps build the muscles around it to give me a bit of strength. Guys, remember, just to give you like a little warning, this is not something that it's either going to work or not work. It's 50-50. I still got the pain, but what it has done for me is taken the edge off, which will elevate me to continue my journey on training those areas of my core muscles. When it comes to training, I can push myself a bit better. I've realized
That's
now
the
when I'm
most important thing,
yeah,
bro.
so what that has done for me now is that when I'm standing long hours, usually my back starts to play up because my body's feeling all the pressure. I'm not having that feeling no more. And the same thing if I sit down for far too long, that pain is still dormant. So that's why I want to let you know the pain is still there, it's dormant. It's slightly moved up a little bit, which is weird because my vertebra right at the bottom was where it was affecting me the most. So I think that's what the pain that they've taken away. But I've seen my change in mood uh, because with chronic pain, you're in pain continuously, so your mood's off. I'd suddenly shout at Alara or, I'll switch at somebody because I'm still burdening that pain. Where now I don't. It's weird, bro. It's a weird feeling. That pressure's not there. And what that's done as well with my mood in general, like, somebody said something to me the other day when I was going to Birmingham. It was like a bum on the train and he came walking past and he was like, and I said I didn't have change on me. And he was like, well, your people don't help anyway.
Hmm. Yeah.
So where originally I think I would have responded to that, I just put my track back on and I was like, I'll continue. And that's
Mm.
so weird. When I'm driving, I always want to, I don't know why I had this tension of need to get there quick. And if anybody does anything, I'm swearing and shouting for no reason. Bro, I'm telling you, it has taken the edge off dramatically, with Alhamdulillah, which is great. I don't know how long that's going to last for. I've got a checkup in 3 months, but I've realized that has played a significant impact in most of the past couple of years because of my mood and the way I am. Yeah, yeah.
Mm. Well, that part's
Uh,
hard, man. That part, listen, I drive around here constantly effing and blinding. Sometimes I can control it, most times I can't. It's hard, man. I wish, and I think yeah, like, when you're driving and stuff like that, you're already on edge level because you're driving this big freaking 2-ton machine or 1-ton
mm,
machine, and lives are on the line. My lives as well as other people, my wife's line and life, and other people driving. But so the moment someone does something that makes you either break or whatever, it just pushes me straight to 100 and I just go crazy. So it's a hard thing, but yeah, to walk away from things. Listen, I had a stressful week as well,
mm.
crazy week, but I'll talk about it in a sec. Go on, you finish off because I had a mad week myself. Typical
No,
Dubai
listen,
shit.
there's so much going on at the moment, guys. Just to let you guys know, Cherish Click, sponsors of the Brothers Geek Out podcast. if you guys are looking to capture moments at birthday party, work event, corporate event, wedding, engagement, or even just a house party where you want a photo booth there, which is a magic mirror selfie photo booth, and you get instant prints with that. You could do bookmark sizes. We basically theme it to the occasion. So if you guys are looking for a photo booth and you want something to remember the party by and people to remember that party by, check out Cherish Clicks. The links are in the bio, guys.
Awesome. Well, how's that going? Anything, or maybe we could talk offline about that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, listen, it's the beginning of a business, isn't it? You know, we did 2 events, which was free events to kind of just get the name out there, and we're building on the socials. We've learned some mistakes we've made along the process as well. We've got a booking for December, but we're still looking for more bookings. I had a meeting last week, which is great. So, guys, make sure you check this out. If you're looking to start your own business, as a person who likes to just do the work and get paid, doesn't think about how you see things on a larger scale. So check it out. It's on Google. It's called a business canvas. Oh my God. Like one of my colleagues, one of my old colleagues that used to work with me in academia, got in contact with me. He goes, look, kids, man, I think you could scale this up massively. That's one thing I like about social media. You can put stuff out there, people will give you ideas. And it's called a business canvas, which is like blocks in different color codes. And it shows you how to scale the business and where you're starting, which gives me a bit more understanding about the stuff that works in the background. Because I'm the marketing guy and I just want to do the job where there's more to it. So seeing it on a larger scale as well. So definitely good. Something that we just need to keep pushing, bro. I think it will pick off. It is still a niche market. There's not many people in it. And I think, you know, the more we push it out there, something will come up, bro. But at the moment now, it's still the beginning phase, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So other hustles, you know, I'm running other hustles to try and keep payment on the table, food on the table, which is fine. Getting rid of some of the collectibles that are just sitting there, you know, like there are going to be times where, you know, you kind of bog down and niche down on things. And I realize, oh my God, I've got, you know, Funko Pops, bro, you know, 200 of them. What am I going to do? Keep the ones I want, get rid of all the other ones. And, you know, that could give me an extra £200 for the month. So yes, it was fun collecting at first, but now it's like narrowing down on necessities and needs and what I need. And we want to push this business as well. I want to push other things that I do as well. You know, it's not just that we want to do the photo booth. I'll make money from the workshops. I'll make money from doing the creativity stuff. We'll make money on other things. So it's like, I think now it's weird. Like it's that mentality of, yes, the 9 to 5, everybody, you know, everybody's different. Everybody works differently. And some people can work with it, but some people can't. You know, it's difficult because I couldn't find a healthy life-work balance. It was work-life balance. And I hate that. So now that I've suddenly got some life and then work, it doesn't take up so much time, bro. And I feel like it's mentally freed me a little. So we put a lot of unnecessary pressure on ourselves because, bro, I was going to come to you last week and say, you know what, I need a break. I think it's time for me to, you know, buckle down on getting this business running and trying other avenues and stuff like that. And it was like, you know what, we've changed our structure a little bit. And I think that really helps us for life, because I'm not thinking about, oh my God, we need to get this out, that out, do this, do that, do that. And because it was like a weekly thing, and now we're doing it every fortnight. And the thing is, we'll still do weekly content because we're going to have guests on the show.
Trailer reactions.
But then trailer reactions. So we'll still have stuff, but it doesn't have that big burden of, oh my God, we've got to do this podcast every week. Even if there's nothing to talk about, there's always something to talk about, but it can put pressure on you. So it was like, okay, if we're singling that out for every fortnight, we're going to have stuff in between. I think we're structuring it better now, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And I think so. People are different. I think even between me and you, we're different. Like, listen, you're brave enough to, you know, take this venture and stuff like that. I'm a very structured individual. Everything in my life is routined. Everything. You know, I say this so many times. Everything in my life is routined. I don't like, you know, like not having a job will give me too much anxiety. And I've got so much future plans that I'm trying to figure out. I've put myself in financial commitments such as property and stuff like that. And not having a job is for me, it'll just bring me so much anxiety and whatnot. I need that steady monthly income. So I plan. You don't understand what I go through in the Excel docs I got in regards to money planning. I'm just so structured. As you've probably known me for,
No,
for
I
the
know,
longest time.
I know.
And even with like life, I'm talking about, bro, the way my routine is every day. If I'm not in routine, I'm not doing certain things. I mention this all the time. Like I wake up 7 a.m. I wash up, I pray, I read the Quran, I read the Islamic book, I do some of my reciting, I practice and stuff. Bro, if I'm not in routine, I'm not doing none of that, right? But because I'm in routine, like I do my prayer, but I wouldn't do the extracurriculum of reading. Then after that, I go to my workout. I go for a walk, get some sun. I do my hanging. I was going to mention to you about your back. I hang every day to alleviate the pressures on my back
Pressures.
and I learned this from dad. I learned this from you. Like you guys go through these back pains and stuff. So I'm not gonna wait for mine to kick in because I am sitting down all day. It will kick in. I wrestle. I do jujitsu. That messes up my spine. So I'm not gonna wait for that and thing. I'm really working on it now. But anyway, my point is routine. I'm so routine. After that, I get to work and blah blah blah. Eating routine. I think structure for me is super important. So that's why I like my 9 to 5 because it gives me that structure and whatnot. But again, between us, we're very different individuals. You could take that brave step and go into, and now you're doing shit that you enjoy. Because I was just about to say, if you were going to take a break from this, I'm like, but the whole point was for you to get time back so we could do this and focus on this stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's what it was, that enjoyment. And it's like, I think the pressure of, there's a handful of stuff I'm doing, right? So I think that's where it was like, how can I zone into those things? And it's just structuring myself. I've always been kind of structured. We've always had that work ethic with us. I still get up at 6 o'clock in the morning so I can have my first coffee. But now that I'm feeling less painful, that I'm getting up at 6 o'clock, doing my prayers, having that coffee to myself, doing 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups. Now that I don't feel that pain in my lower back, to have that sort of past week, I've been doing that. And I've noticed that if I continue doing this, I'm gonna see difference. But it's that key moment and sleeping early, bro. Sleep is so important, and we've always had sleeping issues.
No,
So
God,
I've realized with the
sleep.
back pain off, like I've had a couple of good nights sleep. I still have the odd shitty ones, but I think I'm gonna work like my structure of getting better sleep. And
Sleep
now
is
that
my worst enemy, man. I was gonna
yeah,
say, it's my worst enemy. It's been my worst enemy for the last like nearly 7, 8 years. Now, I mean, look, I'm still basic, but I have a routine no matter what happens in the night, no matter what. Be it I stay up all night playing games, which I don't do anyway, or I just can't sleep. I wake up at 7 a.m. Regardless, the alarm goes off at 7 a.m. Good night, bad night. Monday to Sunday, sorry, is 7. Even on Sunday when there's nothing to do and whatever, 7 a.m. workout. I wake up, I do the exact same routine. Instead of working out, because Sunday's my rest day, I wash the car or something like that. But that's what's kind of helped, but kind of put it. But yeah, sleep is such a most important thing for us, and it's my worst enemy.
inshallah, man. We'll get better on that side of things, but I feel like that's in the family DNA, bro.
I think so, man.
But yeah, that's about it, bro.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, like, yeah, structure and keep doing what you're doing, and at least now you're doing what you enjoy, which is the main thing. Because work, not everyone enjoys their 9 to 5. I wouldn't say I enjoy it, but I there's elements of it that I enjoy. You mentioned something about being a mentor earlier on, but one of my team members in Korea, she said this the other day. She was like, "Gee, you're like a wiser brother to me. I really appreciate it because I gave her some advice on something. It felt so good, and I was doing this training at work, and they were talking about the values and stuff like the values of working and stuff like that. And they were asking to fill out questionnaire and stuff like and score it to 1 to 5, and it's like, do you align with the company values? I was like, fuck no, man, put that shit at 0. But then it was like, what else motivates you? And one of the things was mentoring and or people helping people. I'm like, yes, that's a 5. And me helping my team, like this girl that said that in from Korea, but man, I've got to put a training together for teams because I manage a global team remotely, and I manage different cultures of people and all this sort of stuff. So the fact that when I first met her, very shy, very timid, work to a point where I built a relationship all online, right? Because we don't see face to face or whatnot, to a point where her work-life balance is better. and she called me an older, wiser brother. Not even like boss. I don't like the word boss, but or leader. What
Yeah, yeah.
brother's personal, because I helped her in her personal life. I just gave her some advice and we just had a conversation about it. That meant so much more. I'm like, if I can help people like that, that's you know,
I think that's the important.
that's the value for me for work.
That's so much, because I said that on the panel. I said it's all about your value. It's about how we respect one another and each other, and language between each other as well. So like mentoring these guys, and I've picked a couple of individuals that everybody was like, "You sure?" And I was like, "Listen, man, the quiet ones, they're the ones that are so creative and so good, but they're on their own battle. They're battling by themselves. I know that person because that was me." So like, if I can bring some highlight to their lives to say, you know, this journey is not going to be easy, but you're going to find some joy and some happiness out of it, and it will, you know, can turn into anything, you know.
Yeah,
but definitely we'll talk more about the guys that are mentoring on the next show, because I feel like right now it's still early days, so I'll give them the respect of being quiet and shy now, but I'll expose you lot after, because the one thing about being in this creative world and being creative is that feeling of being wanted and being seen and being understood, and you're not going to get that all the time, bro. You know what I mean? Some people don't even see what you do and how much it means to you. So value is important.
I get that, bro. Listen, I've been in my position, my current position, in a couple of years. There's people that still don't respect and see me. Like, obviously I won't name names or whatnot. They do business in Middle East, so they come here to Dubai, and I always tell them, like, if you need me, let me know. I'll come out with you to meet clients and all that sort of stuff. To this day, bro, they come and go without saying it. Oh, gee, so bit. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. Now, at first, I was a bit like, you know, if you don't want to utilize me, so be it. And it kind of got me a little bit frustrated. But now I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I put myself out there. I know my abilities, and you know what? I'm not here to please you lot. That's on you lot. If you don't want to utilize me because of whatever you lot think, then fuck it. But the point of knowing where I used to be and being able to help someone who I can identify, like, you're kind of like me. I've had that same thing, man, with an individual in my Europe team, London team. I'm like, you're like me, man. You're very quiet. You don't like, you know, being on public spaces and public calls and whatnot. But people believed in me, and I was given these opportunities to you know, manage a team in Europe and Asia, which means I had to step up. And that's what we done with him recently, man. Made him step up. I believed in him as well, and we gave him certain responsibilities. And my guys stepped up. I'm like, my bro, like, you're like me, and look at you now, man. You've stepped up so much. But even the other day, I done a presentation. I had to present some shit. Someone who I'm close with in Japan, he was like, "Gee, like, you're smashing it with presenting, man. You're so comfortable now. Like, it felt like you were doing a TED talk." And I was like, "Oh man, thanks for the compliment, man." I mean, because I speak to him before, I said, "Man, I used to be so nervous about doing these calls. I hated them." Now he's like, "You're such a natural." I'm like, "You know what? Thank you, man. I appreciate that feedback. Even though it's 3 years later or whatnot, it feels good to know that I feel like, and I feel like I do get a little bit nervous because I don't like doing it, but I am comfortable now doing it, man." But yeah, man, I mean, that's the positive things about just kind of like mentoring people and stuff like that at work. I hate the word boss, but I like the word like teammate and mentor. And I don't like mentor, but like just kind of helping people. But yeah, man, other than that, man, my weeks have been cool, man. Just like training and stuff as usual, trying to keep up. Freaking, it's hard. It's really hard now because like I say, I'm older and I'm the oldest guy. I was looking at the wrestling class yesterday. I'm the oldest guy and I'm the smallest guy. And the problem is when you're training with young, strong people who don't know what they're doing. And I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I've been training enough to have control and understand my body and whatnot. These guys just use so much. So yesterday I was training with this dude, this big dude. It was like his third, fourth class wrestling. So he's a gym guy. He's really strong. And we're wrestling. And my guy I was like, look, let's just flow. You know, we'd have to go. So he's like 80 kgs. I'm 57. I'm like, bro, you got 20 kgs on me. But when we get into it, everyone just wants to win, 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 win. So well, first of all, he got a lot between my legs and my upper body type of thing. And he squeezed my balls. And I'm like, bro, stop. Like, I know you're trying to squeeze to get the inner part of my thigh or whatnot, but like, stop the squeeze. You nearly squashed my fucking balls, man. And then after he done the same thing with my ribs, like my floating ribs, and I had to stop. And I'm like, bro, like, I told you, you're stronger than me or whatnot. Yes, I'm more technical than you or whatnot, but you're using your power and you're going to hurt me. I don't need this. I don't need to be hurt in the training class or whatnot. So it's very difficult for me to keep up with
What did
training.
he say though? What was his
No,
reaction?
he apologized. He's like, brother, I'm sorry. I'm new. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, look, you don't need to win. We're just training here. Just flow. Don't squeeze and use strength. Just flow with the movement. I'm not gonna. I had you. I was on top of him and I pinned him. Even though I'm smaller, I just know how to use body distribution. But I was like, the reason why I let you go is because we need to flow. Otherwise, I could have just held you there for the whole club, for the whole sparring. That's why I let you go, so you can get me. And then I put myself in a bad position. Then this is what when drilling is like. That's what we're trying to do. We're drilling.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. I need you to put me in a bad position so I can work my way out, and vice versa. If you want to go do hard, go do a fight, go do that, and then you can squeeze the shit out of people. But anyway, look, he was a young kid, he was new. He goes, brother, it's not my intention to hurt you. I'm like, no, I understand. I'm just trying to teach you, just be soft. When you go up against someone your size, then cool, you can squeeze them, they'll squeeze you, it'll be cool.
Squeeze his bollocks, bro.
Bro, man, fuck, man, it really hurt, man. I was like, shit, man. So it's been tough. It's been tough, man. But yeah, training's been good though. It's been good. My health has been good. I've been eating liver every day. I've been getting that in my diet. My breakfast literally is 3 eggs and liver and some nuts, and I make my protein shake and whatnot. I know it's butters. It is a butters breakfast, but it's a healthy breakfast. It's a protein and a vitamin, a mineral rich one and whatnot. But it's been good. I can't wait for some junk food this weekend, I ain't gonna lie. I had a situation on Monday, man. I had such a shit day, which I'll follow up with the good news, but fuck, you know, man, Dubai cracks me up with the scams, man. Dubai and its legitimate scams. So bro, check this out, yeah? Check this out. You have to register your car here with the RTA. Just think of it as road tax, right? Every year you have to register it. In order for you to register it, you need car insurance, right? And the insurance company has to update the RTA on their systems to say, yep, he's got car insurance. You can move forward with the registration. Bro, my insurance gives me 13 months of insurance. The registration is every 12 months. So when the registration is due, technically I have 1 more month of insurance. So I'm telling the insurance company, listen, I've got insurance for you with 1 more month. Can you update RTA to say that I'm insured so I can register my car? Because if I don't register my car, I can't drive it, it's illegal. They're like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, why? Oh, no, you need to renew your insurance. I'm like, okay, then renew my insurance starting from October, because I got the 1 extra month, and do it for another 13 months. No. If you renew, we need to renew it from now, which means you lose the month. And I'm like, what? Like, yeah, that's how it works. I'm like, so why did you give me 13 months knowing that the RTA is a 12-month registration? So why give me 13 months and then tell me I'll lose them? What is all this criminal stuff that you guys are doing? I was trying to be nice to the lady. I was like, sister, this is a trick, right? You guys are tricking me. She goes, no, this is the process. And the problem with Dubai, nobody gives you a solution. There is no solution in Dubai. There's no such thing as a solution. It's like, oh no, this is how it is. So I'm like, okay, you just scammed me a month of insurance and you've charged me all this stuff, and there's no solution around it. No refund for the month, no nothing. So I had to go through all that madness. End of the day, I had to register my car. It ended today. I know you can't drive it. So I just said, I paid for it. I was like, fuck it. I didn't go with the same insurance company. I went a completely different. So technically with the old insurance company, I'm still insured for a month, but I've got a whole new insurance that started this month. So I lose a month. So even with this new insurance company, I said, well, just do me 12 months. Don't give me this 13 months bullshit, because that's a scam, right? To try and get me in. Do me 12 months. They're like, okay, sure. So I'm like, well, the price should drop by a percentage or two, right? Because you're giving me 12 and 13. Oh, no, it's the same price. I'm like, just put 13 months and I'll pay for it. Like, one thing I've learned in Dubai, like I've said to you, you have to.
Legit scam, innit?
Yeah, it's tax-free. Everyone's like, oh, tax-free, you make so much money. No, you lose a lot of money because of all these scams. So what I've just done was like, listen, you know what? I went through such a frustrating time, got angry and whatnot. I paid for it all. My car's registered now. Fuck it. It's done. Now I know you're lot scams. Next year, I'm looking at the insurance is 12 months. Don't give me this 13-month bullshit. Next year, I'm like, cool. Like, whatever. We'll do 12 months. But that just annoyed the shit out of me. It made me learn something new about Dubai scam. Another one of Dubai scams. But on the plus note, you gave me some great news. that we went to we had we made a connection with Warner Brothers and the PR company here. Shout outs to Warner Brothers Middle East. Shout out to the PR company, which is Majid. What are they? Majid Al Font. I gotta give him a shout out.
I'm gonna try and pronounce that, bro.
I'm gonna tell you because I need to give him a shout out. Vox Cinemas. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this because it's important, bro. It's important that I give him a shout out because finally got the
Try and get the pronunciation right. Like, do it in the Arabic accent as well.
Man can't do
guys.
Arabic.
Just in case you guys are new to this channel, show us some love, man. Drop a comment, click on that like button, subscribe to the channel. But yeah, as always, we're always grateful. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Should always say that in the beginning. But yeah, look, shout outs to one about the Middle East and then Majid Al Futtaim. Majid Al Futtaim. PR company.
Sounding more Chinese there than Arabic.
Majid Al Futtaim. Yeah, anyway, look, shout outs. Look, let me put them up there, man.
There you go. Shout outs to them guys. You guys got to experience your first
premiere
Dubai screening.
Dubai, yeah.
Premiere, yeah.
Oh, I messed up the camera, but it was awesome. We got hooked up, amazing seats. It was the IMAX. It was we got the best seats in the house. I have to say, we were up in the balcony, for us to be right in the middle. I don't know if they hooked us up, but we felt that we got hooked up. Shout out to them, it was amazing. We got a chance to see Beetlejuice, which we'll go through in the movie reviews and whatnot. But I was super happy about that. Well, one because of the premiere, the screening and whatnot, and two, we got in, bro. We got in. I know we got the Disney content, and hopefully we'll get something happening with that with the next one. But with Warner Brothers now, hopefully, inshallah, we're on the list every month for the main movies. And I'm grateful, man. The podcast, I'm just so happy that our hard work, everything that we put into this podcast that we do, what we enjoy, we geek out about, it's expanded in Dubai, and I'm happy about that. Also, I've explained this before, the cinema experience here is not great. Like when I pay for something, I want the experience to be great. I don't like it when other people just ruin it for me. But now, being able to go to these screenings, I'm like, cool, you know what? Cool, everyone's here. We're all gonna enjoy it. It's an event.
Was it busy?
It was busy, but I noticed that the front seats, the front 5 rows, they don't fill those up. And it was all the back and the balcony and stuff like that. Because I was like, how come it's so empty? But I noticed the front ones. Also, I noticed that on the Deadpool and Wolverine one where I saw the Instagram videos and stuff. The front seats, they don't fill up. So interested. But bro, good. It was awesome, man. I'm really happy. Shout out to them. So excellent time, man. But yeah, and then this weekend, Mrs.'s birthday, so I can't wait. We're gonna go for a little staycation in a resort in Dubai, Palm Beach. So I'm looking forward to that, just to relax.
Nice. That'd be good.
We're gonna wake up and just do nothing and enjoy this resort and just chill. So super happy about that. But yeah, man, that has been it. That's been the updates in Dubai, man. It's been awesome. It's been awesome from the experiences perspective and just getting through things. But let's get into it. Let's get into it, man. We've got a lot to discuss today. Guys, as usual, check the description. We're going to talk about real world issues right now. Check the descriptions. If you want to skip this part, the timestamps there, you can move past this part. But it's important for us to kind of talk about this because it affects us emotionally. And not just me. I've heard so many people about it. And I'm always going to quote someone like Immortal Techniques that say that if you don't feel anything about the death of over 40,000 innocent people or 16,000 innocent children, then I'm sorry for whatever happened to you in your life. I'm sorry for whatever happened to you in life, because something has happened to you in your life for you not to have any sympathy for those children and innocent people. Guys, free Palestine, free Sudan, free Congo, there's so much horrible things going on, with the Gaza situation non-stop still. Right, there's polio vaccines going on right now. They've invaded the West Bank, bro. It's been disgusting. I just been watching this thing today, which has made me sick. Which is going around with those two podcasters, in Israel.
2 good Jews or something.
Yeah, they call themselves the 2 good Jews. What a terrible name for 2 horrible, disgusting, most evil people on the planet. Disgusting guy. The guy was literally saying if he can end every single life in Gaza, we're talking about 2.2 million people, talking about over 1 million children. This disgusting, evil human being was like, he will press the button right now. right? And there was other clips that I didn't watch the whole. I didn't watch his podcast. I'm watching news where they play the clips. I'm watching breaking points and all those sort of ones. The guy was also saying nobody. He goes. Listen. He's trying to speak for all Israelis. Now, I listen. I know there was a protest going on in Israel with over 500 people. Now I know they're calling for a ceasefire for a hostage negotiation. I didn't really see anything about the genocide in Gaza, so I don't know if that's. I don't think that's their main objective. But anyway, look. At least they're protesting against that terrorist Yahoo because they want him out as well as the rest of the world want him out. But these two disgusting, evil human beings, and I hate the fact that they use Jewish because they're not Jewish, because the real religion of Judaism and the real Jewish brothers and sisters will never speak like this and say stuff like this. So they're a disgrace and they represent in their religion wrong and even their own people wrong. Was just saying like he was trying to say like Israelis don't really care about babies in Gaza who's got polio and all that stuff. Like that's what he was trying to say. He's trying to represent like the most evil human being ever, and they're acting like it's all casual. This is the epitome of evil human beings, bro. This individual, and they're saying it so casually, like it's okay to say they're the most.
They're getting paid, bro. Remember, I gotta say, they don't realize that the Zionists paint targets on each other's backs. They seem to be the most backstabbing people in the world. You know, the government backstab each other, the idea for backstabbing each other, and then these fools are backstabbing each other. Now they're getting paid. Horrible. They're not horrible. They're horrible humans, bro. I wish they find some sort of peace, man. Allah forgive them. Allah forgive them, man. Astaghfirullah. When you have a platform and you're easy to say that in front of people, how much respect do you lose as a human being? You could be a bad human being, but bro, that is it. What you're saying there, that's like pure evil. That's like devil level shit.
Yeah, man.
That is pure evil. Now, bro, there are some people in this world that think they are superior than us. And that colonial mentality.
Yeah, man.
They need to start thinking, oh shit. You know, people are starting to take their own countries back now. People are starting to do things now. And listen, I hope I'm around when I see a free Palestine, because and you know what, and that sounds quite bad because that displaces our Jewish brothers and sisters again. Yeah. But all of this shit has been stirred up and caused by Zionism and colonial shit. That the fact that they gave that part of Palestine away, and then the Nakba to happen as well in the process, like you could see all their fuck ups from then, and that's the British's fault. Fuck ups from then, and the Americans didn't want to get involved. Their fuck up from then blow up in their face now, bro, and literally blow up in their face now, because now they're all caught on HD. Yes, most of these Zionists they control the mainstream media, so the narrative is going to be controlled in their way, but which is changing now.
Oh, so much.
Which is changing. The amount of beef I had on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday when that clip came out of those two fuckers saying what they said. And I was like saying horrible. And I had Bear Zionist on the TikTok page, bro, trying to message me and at me. And I was like, bro, look, I'm going to just say exactly what Mr. Rob Delaney said is fuck you 6 times, you keyboard warrior. And salutes to Mr. Rob Delaney. I read your book the other day, which was very heartfelt. Very touching. I had tears, you know. But what's happening in Palestine, West Bank, Gaza right now, it's horrible. Guys, we've got links in the description, links in our social media platforms to go help the people of Gaza, medical aid as well, and food as well, because it is absolutely fucked now. So I don't want to give these guys any props because they get advertisement like this. So I want to keep that part short. I really want to focus on it's taken us 10 months. We're coming up to a year soon. Sorry, we're on the 11th month now for some action and some things to happen. Now, I know everybody is trying their best to keep the word and the rest of it. And everybody keeps warning me as well that would lose deals and the rest of it. I said, what deals? I ain't getting paid for none of the shit that we do. We're lucky enough to get a free box of goodies, you know what I mean? I will respect the companies that do work with us and give that stuff, but most of them are compliant to what is happening over there as well. And it doesn't care. Like, you know, I've got the watermelon in my bios and all of our bios. You know what I mean? I will support them always for the right way and the human rights. Business-wise, look, man, things will come. I think people are scared to say what they want to say. It's because they're scared of the outcome of what will happen. we've been speaking about it for the past 11 months. Every time we've done this podcast, all of our clips that we put out on our social media pages. I can't let the higher part of people that think they're more superior than us win. That mentality needs to change and needs to go. And I do want to be able to be responsible to tell the people around me that there's nothing wrong with standing up for what's right. You putting up a little post about what's happening in Palestine will open up and educate people from somebody who doesn't know it. Because we live in a selfish society, 100%. And I'm going to use this as a clip. Okay, we live in a selfish society because we want everything instantly and we want everything now. And we want everything to go our way. But listen, man, what you really need to know, and stop following shitty influencers that are in Dubai thinking that they're making money but getting actually scammed out of their money, is that there's hardship with everything that comes with this. The conflict in Palestine is deeply mentally affected me, and it does on a daily basis. There's not a day without it. When people watch me, when I have my kafir on, or when I have my badges on, or my jacket or my hat, people look, people get scared, people don't understand. But listen, man, I'm shouting for solidarity. I'm shouting for freedom of the people. I'm shouting for people to just get along with each other. We can get along with each other. We could do so much together. But yeah, the people of Palestine really need us now more than ever. And I have, there's been a handful of people, and I know other people are in different situations. Listen, man, I'm at the job. I still try and put in £5. You know what I mean? It's what I can do. That little prayer there, that little thing there, whether I'm buying a T-shirt where it says "Free Palestine," that money goes to them, so that somebody can eat. Yeah, the footage is still circulating. These fuckers, what they're doing, and listen, I'm not talking about general Israeli folk, because some of them don't want to be a part of this. The Judaism religion is getting rinsed through the mud now. But what they're doing in West Bank right now, that is political, government, and military based.
Extremists, man. They're all extremists.
Yeah, they're all extremists. Those are fucking terrorists, and I don't care. I'm saying it
straight up.
Yeah, and we'll probably, again, with the videos, we'll probably get blocked out, or that we couldn't share the video. But they're fucking terrorists, bro. And it's hard to say because people don't like saying white people can be terrorists too. So double standards.
White Europeans. Those are white Europeans, man. They claim
white Europeans, sorry. Yeah.
The white Europeans, at the end of the day. No, listen, we'd all love the white Europeans because there's so much. That Greta Thunberg girl just got arrested and whatnot. So when I say that, of course, just saying it from a perspective that these white extremist Zionists, white Europeans are going there to colonize the land. I mean, these two guys who done the podcast, but they had like American and English accents. I'm like, so if you're Arab, where the hell is your Arab accent or whatnot? Or if you're from the Middle East, it's all bullshit. Exactly. You got that straight up.
No, fuck them. Sorry, and I say that with the utmost respect. I don't be bad to any humans. May Allah forgive them. But there is something seriously fucked up to say something like that on such a large scale. But look what's happening, bro. Nothing's happening to them. They're not getting. It's not anti-Semitism and all that bullshit. Like, they'll still get paid out for that. That will get flourished. That will go out there. It will get the numbers. Where someone like us says something like that, there'll be a police officer knocking on the door saying, "Oh, you said this on Twitter. Let's question you for what?"
The double standards in this world and the media and all that. The double standards is ridiculous. But listen, as you said, it feels like the tides are turning just because the whole world has seen what's going on. You can't hide it. The media can't hide it anymore. The corporate propaganda, racist media can't really hide it anymore. They control the media. They control the narrative. They try to control the narratives, but it's all gone now because the whole world's seeing it on the socials and the internet and everything like that. I mean, you really think that you're the good guys after all of this demonic evil talk and all demonic evil actions that you're doing, blowing up children and whatnot, and you really still want the world to think that you're the most moral army and moral people and good guys? The whole world sees you as the most evil people on the planet. It's as simple as that. And now the UK, that Lammy fool, recently did make an announcement that they're going to stop like 30, I don't know exactly what it means, but like 30% or 30 of weapons go into...
It's not enough what they want to do.
It should be 100%. I don't know what 30 is. But anyway, 30 The
Bro, listen,
US,
bro, he still needs to get paid, innit?
yeah, exactly. The US are still supporting them unconditionally, even though they're trying to start like literally world war with Iran and whatnot. What that Israel's trying to start that. Literally, they are. It's them. So yes, I'm not saying Iran's a saint or whatnot, but the point is Israel's trying to instigate them by bombing them on their land and killing people. You know, on a sovereign country, just firing weapons there and whatnot. And the US just they're controlled by Israel. They are controlled by Israel end of the day. But that's not mean the US people. We're talking about the US government and the people in charge, unfortunately. The US people, of course, have been protesting for years. And it's interesting that in Israel, they can have a protest and all that sort of stuff. But if you do that in the Western countries, it's demonized. They say that you're funded by Iran. So listen, all the protests of 500,000 people in Israel, Israelis protesting against you, are they also Iranian? Are they funded by Iran as well? I'm pretty sure Yahoo will say that about his own people. Oh, they're all funded by Iran as well, that Yahoo. So again, as you mentioned, they're traitors to their own people because they don't give a shit. Yeah, they don't give a shit about each other, man. They just care about their political gains and trying to steal this land and all this sort of stuff. It's all a bunch of bullshit. But
Anyway,
yeah.
Listen, links in our bios to help the people of Palestine, and fuck the Israeli government. Fuck the IDF. I'm gonna start to be a bit more
IOF,
vocal
man.
and IOF.
Yeah, the Israeli occupation force, man. They're not defending.
Yes, the IOF.
They ain't defending shit.
They ain't defending shit.
They're occupying.
Yeah, I will be openly. I think before I found it very hard to say that, but the pure evilness in it, they need to know. Fuck them. There's this woman I follow on Instagram. I forgot her name, but you know what? Let me. If I find the name, I'm gonna put it up on the link in our description. She's so vocal, bro. It's inspiring. You know, she always starts her video with "fucking the state of Israel." And the thing is, she doesn't mean it in a way where to harm the Jewish people, that brothers and sisters there. It is the government and the IOF. Those are the ones that she's attacking, because there's a separation.
Yeah,
and I
there's
hope
a lot of clips
people
that they
understand
never show.
that.
I was gonna say there's loads of things that they don't show that, like I say, real religious Jews in Israel, and around the world, but in Israel, that the real what you call them, the proper Jews are all against this, man. They don't want to join the army, first of all. And they completely against the killing of innocent people. There's so many of them, but they will not release those footages. Of course not. There's loads of other kids I've seen in Israel who refuse to join the IOF, and they're going to prison and whatnot. So yes, when you say that, it's not all the people. It's all the people in Israel. It's the government and all the right-wing, fascist, disgusting, evil people. Fuck them. So yeah, I agree. Fuck them. Cool, guys, as always, like, check the description, links are in there, donate £1, whatever, right? These are the 3 ways us regular people can definitely help. Donate as much as you can, exposure on your socials and whatnot, just put something out in solidarity so people know what's going on. And the last one was why have I gone blank? Boycott.
Oh my God, yeah, boycott, guys.
And Starbucks, McDonald's, like, just check the internet on the list. Just boycott. You don't need them. Support local businesses. Support businesses outside of that state.
Do you know what that has? Just to jump on that, and how much that's changed working with the local people in the area now. And where I am in Waltham Cross, you know, we've got 2 big McDonald's in the local area. We've got several Burger Kings. And it was the place, you know, they would go to for a couple of Islamic, you know, most of the Islamic people around the area to go get like a vegan burger or whatever, or fish fillet. We haven't had that in over a year.
Same here.
Can you believe that? Which is amazing, because now local businesses with coffee shops will go sit there now and they're like, oh my God, like, we're getting all the Costa people now.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah, man. Alhamdulillah, which is great.
That's what we should be doing as a community, supporting the local community. Anyway, so this has even helped that perspective. Like, let's support the local community and their local coffee shops and whatnot. Look, I'm not gonna lie, I was sucked into it. I love a glass of Coca-Cola. I remember the taste. I remember it. I love double cheeseburger and chicken nuggets and I remember the taste, but fuck them. I don't need that shit anymore. And it's again, it's from a healthy perspective. It keeps me away from that bullshit food. So yes, like support our local communities, boycott those companies because they fund the murders of children. And support, it helps us support our local business, and it keeps you healthy because it keeps you away from that shitty food anyway. So yes,
Exactly.
keep going, guys. All right, guys. Well, let's move into our first piece of. Oh no, wait! I have to bring this up. Let me share my screen. This is still kind of real world issues, actually. Unfortunately, we lost. I feel like we're always doing this, man. But it's just, I guess, I don't know, man. As you get older, you lose people, man. We lost someone,
Oh,
a legend again in the hip hop industry. Last time we talked
oh,
about oh, why have I gone blank, man? Chino Excel, and
Dino
now
Excel,
we
yeah.
lost Fatman Scoop, who passed away at the age of 53. He collapsed on stage, and then he passed away. He was involved with so many, bro. I just remember his like the remixes he used to do, the club vibes. He really used to
Yeah.
pump up the audience, man. This guy had a
Yeah.
talent for that, man. I mean, he's just a positive
Man,
vibe
really
when it comes
positive.
to people.
Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, man, we lost a legend. Rest in peace to Fat Man Scoop. 53 is still young, man. I tried to read into what might be the issue, but I'm not sure what it was, man. But condolences to his family. Rest in peace to Fat Man Scoop. I actually got to give respect to his real name, man. We call him Fat Man Scoop, which is what he's known for anyway. But what is his real name?
Where's he gone? I
There
think
we
it was
go.
further up.
Isaac
Isaac
Freeman.
Freeman III.
Isaac Freeman III.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, my
Rest in
brother.
power,
Rest in
man.
power.
Rest in
Rest in
power.
power.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, let's move on to things we watched. Let's do some movie reviews. We've watched quite a lot of things, but we'll talk about stuff that we both watched and get into that. And we'll just give a quick review on stuff that individuals watch. We'll give a proper breakdown when we both seen it. Any basic ads, man. I'm on IMDb to get these pictures, man, and stuff like that.
It's all right.
Jackpot. Have you seen Jackpot with
I haven't. It's on my list to watch with Athena.
and John Cena?
Yes.
Shim Liu is in it as well. Shim Liu.
Liu. Yeah.
So it's got Sean William Scott was in it. It's actually kind of good to see him after so long.
Years, bro.
Yeah. He said that he wants to play someone in the DC universe. That guy,
Plastic Man or
nah, the other guy's got blonde hair. I can't remember his name. Anyway,
Booster Gold.
that's it, Booster Gold. He said he would love to play Booster Gold in this universe.
Ooh, I can see that. He's got the
Yeah.
jawline for it. He's got the
Look at
hair.
his face. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yes, bro. I haven't seen the film. He must have been joking.
He was good. Listen, this film for me
Yeah.
it was a background movie, easy to
Okay.
just put on and watch. It's a silly comedy, nothing to take serious about. There's some serious sort of values, like emotional sort of things that they want to put in there. For me
Okay.
personally, it was just a simple background movie to just put on, watch, and enjoy it for what it is. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't want to shit on the movie and whatnot. I don't want to do that. But if you want to just be entertained from a movie value, I think this is a great entertainment value, which is great.
Okay.
So when you watch it, we can give a proper review and talk about it in more details and stuff. But I tried to give you that before. It's on Prime.
Is it a good fun?
It's a good fun movie. I mean, like when I say fun movie, like I say, you could just pull it on, watch it, and just enjoy it for what it was. Like it's not boring. When I say it's not boring, I mean it's just entertaining. But it's not like you're not
Groundbreaking or changing.
yeah, nothing like that. It's not going to give you the best story in the world and big plot twists and none of that sort of stuff. Just an enjoyable watch to sit down and watch. So guys, check that out on Amazon. The other movie I watched, this is a good movie. Have you seen this, Greedy People?
No. So I've seen that on the list. That's got two Jason, what's his name? From EastEnders. I said Hamish Patel, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. What's that like, bro?
This is an awesome movie. This is a great movie. Now, I can't wait to watch it because I really want to break it down. But what I'm telling you now, without spoiling it, it felt like two movies. It started off like a comedy. And then when you get halfway through it, it turned into like a thriller. A psychotic thriller movie. It was awesome. And the transition happened so smoothly. And you're like, I'm watching a whole different movie, but I'm still with the same two characters who I started the movie with giggles and laughs and a brightness. And then it turned into this whole dark thriller movie. And I'm like, oh shit, my whole perspective on this movie and these characters are changing now because it just went dark. Really good movie. Very good. I was expecting to just sit and watch a comedy and enjoy it for what it was. But that turn that it took, and when I mean comedy, I'm talking about a real, like, I'm not talking about just little jokes, and they really felt like a comedy, like bright and just jokes and whatnot. And then it just turned dark. I mean, you could probably see in these pictures from the trailer, I guess. I mean, like the bright poster hair and the darkness. It was literally that. It was such a great movie. I was like, what the fuck am I watching? This is amazing. So guys, I definitely recommend this. Hemish Patel was awesome, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt was brilliant in this. He was really good. So when you watch this one, we'll give it a proper breakdown as well.
I'll check it out, bro. Definitely.
Yeah,
I'll check it out, definitely.
The next one I watched was The Union. So I know we both watched this.
Yes.
I agree with what you said. So now I could talk. You talked about it a little bit. I agree with what you said when you were talking about how bright and clear and how the HD just almost ruined the movie. It almost felt like an advertisement for the countries that they were in. I think it was like Czech Republic or something like that. I can't remember what country it was.
Yeah. London.
It felt like an advertisement for these countries because it felt so HD and blue skies and beautiful blue oceans and everything. And I'm like, well, this is a movie about like a terrorist group and assassins and all this sort of stuff. So it did feel like that. So I understand it from that perspective. And then we spoke about this in regards to grittiness of movies and stuff. And sometimes just having like bad quality not bad quality, but like not having the 4K HD is okay. I feel like 4K HD for certain movies, yes. And I'm not saying that you should just intentionally make it shit quality, but there's an element to the brightness that you should tone down. And I think this movie was one of those. Now, Mark Wahlberg, anything he does is awesome. Halle Berry was awesome in this as well. The concept of the movie was cool, the union group and all that sort of stuff. I did think, him coming in as a nobody, obviously she knew him from before, but coming in as a nobody, getting trained at that sort of level and being able to do these missions, I was like, all right, cool, it's just a movie, it's unrealistic, but so be it. But I think my biggest takeaway was that basically was the brightness of it. I was like, yeah, you're right. Like
I don't know, it just takes you out of it. It feels fake, when they were in London and London looked like glamified, and I'm like, nah, man, London, yes, when it's sunny, it could look like that, but it still doesn't have that gloss. They made it have a gloss. London doesn't have that gloss.
Do you know what it felt
takes
like?
You out of the scene.
Do you know when you walk past an electronics store and they have all the TVs, like 8Ks and whatnot, and they put on these beautiful images for you to get all the colors and the vast colors and then pixels of the TV?
Yeah, exactly.
It felt like one of those. You can leave on the background. It was like, oh, there's the quality of the TV. So you know what it does do? It does represent a great quality of movie watching from that perspective. Like oh,
listen,
beautiful. But the movie was all right.
It's all right. It's not amazing. This is like binge watch, TV right now. So it doesn't have to be much substance. You can just enjoy it for what it is, and it's got two great actors in there. Halle Berry still looking. I don't know how she does it, bro. I don't know how they do it. I know they get paid to look like that, but it's like, bloody hell, man. You're plus 50, both of them. Plus 50, bro. They're in the best shape of their lives, man.
Well, Wahlberg, I mean, I'm sure Halle Berry like trains and eats healthy and whatnot. I know she did for John Wick. She done the combat stuff. But we all seen Mark Wahlberg's routine. My guy wakes up at 2 a.m. He's in bed by 7 p.m. and he has a crazy workout routine and everything. So yeah, no, they look fantastic. I mean, look, the movie, standard movie, easy to watch. It's great to see J.K. Simmons in it as well.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's one of those watches, but no.
Yeah, their relationship, the whole, sweet high school sweetheart thing into like, I was like, yeah, it's cool. That's all right. It was good to see Luke Cage. What's his name? That was a bit predictable.
Yeah, proper predictable.
Why is my guy? Was he in the movie?
No, man. Why has he got his picture there? He wasn't in the film, bro.
They got the wrong guy. Sketch. Like, that when he I'm the dude that looks like Dave Chappelle.
Mike Coulter.
Mike Coulter.
Yeah, Mike Coulter. Yeah.
It was a little bit predictable because from the beginning I was like, I think he's traitor, and he ended up being traitor and whatnot.
Hold up, man. Why they got the other Dave Chappelle guy in it for? He wasn't in the film.
I don't even know.
He's not in the film. Anyway, okay, let's go.
Cool.
Before I go down a rabbit hole, why is
Yeah.
the David Chappelle lookalike in this?
And the funny thing is, like, he's known for the Dave Chappelle lookalike rather than people knowing his real name. Respects to my guy. All right. Look, okay, this is something that we both can give a review on because we both watched this, and this was fantastic piece
Watchman
of
Chapter 1.
animation.
Yeah.
Go on, bro. You go. You give me your thoughts on this.
All right, listen, bro. Again, we've seen different adaptations of this. We've seen the TV show. I've read the comic book, and now they're going back to animation form, which I really enjoyed, bro. I like the different approach they took on the animation on this, but I do like how it feels much more like the comic book. It feels like the comic book pages. This is why I love animation, because you can express yourself. Animation either works or it doesn't. Works or it doesn't. I felt like, compared to the movie, I felt more connected to this, I really felt more connected to this. I feel like, as much as I want the rights to go back to Alan Moore, which DC Warner Brothers have caused a horrible, horrible situation. That's why he doesn't want his name attached to this. But it's more close to the comic book, much more close to the comic book compared to a movie adaptation. There are slight changes that they made, but I like what they've done, bro. I liked what they've done. It made me more engaged. I love animation, so it made me more engaged with it. So there's a good watch. I gave it did a review the other day on it. What was it? What did I say? So, guys, make sure you check out our letterbox, the Brothers Geek Out letterbox. We're on there. We put all of our reviews up on there. I hate stars and giving numbers, but we give stars as well on there. But I'll give you my kind of overview of what I kind of wrote down. Watchmen Chapter 1 is a masterful adaptation that truly honors the original comic. The animation brilliantly captures the gritty noir-inspired art feel that makes the graphic novel so iconic, while introducing slight changes that feel both respectful and fresh. The attention to detail in each character, designs, and overall atmosphere is spot on. Immersing you in the dark, complex world of the Watchmen. And I continue to go on, but yeah, I'm getting a bit more. What's the word?
Particular.
I get into, like, because the time I got now, bro. I'm getting to be. It's nice to sit back and actually, before I used to rush and watch stuff. Like, now I get to actually sit back and kind of be like, oh yeah, I can give this a proper review now because I'm not always in a rush now.
Yeah.
Which is amazing, because now, yes, I'm still, like, while we're doing this podcast, guys, I'm actually doing other work online to get paid. But I feel much more free about it, where before it was like, I feel like I was stressing, man. But I get to write down better things. GTP helps it sound better, but I still want it to sound like me as well in the process. And guys, if anybody who suffers dyslexia and you're not using AI to support your writing skills, I think it's a great thing, because it makes you work harder at it, and I feel like I'm getting better at it. So it's no trade secret. That shit is free, man. Go use and abuse it. Don't feel like you're left behind. And I think both of me and you have learned, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I definitely use it as well to help me articulate my words better and whatnot.
Exactly.
But yeah, with this, you know what? When I was watching this, the missus was asking, "What is this?" And I was like, you know what? I think this inspired the boys. And when I'm saying inspired the boys, we're talking about superheroes on almost a real life perspective. They're humans at the end of the day, or they're superheroes or whatnot, but they have human values and emotions and whatnot, and they're not all perfect. And that's what the boys kind of shows us. But the Watchmen was the original of that, from that perspective.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I love the way, like, agreed with the animation. Like I said, I'm not an artist who draws and whatnot, but I appreciate art for what it is, and I love the way they done the animation to this. I love the voice acting. Like, there's something I've been appreciating. I think Fist of the North Star really made me appreciate when I rewatched that. The voice acting, Warshank's voice in this was awesome. Warshank's always like the fan favorite for me personally when it comes to the Watchmen series. I do love the background story, kind of going back about what's the blue guy's name again? Why have I gone blank?
Manhattan, Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan and his values and where his values lied, and him being used by the government to go to Vietnam, and they talk about Afghanistan, and then, you know, and then him deciding to go live on Mars because he realized like these humans, like, you know, you know, when they start questioning him about certain enemies and certain people getting cancer and whatnot, putting that on him. Again, he's like supposed to be, I don't want to use these words, but almost like a god, right, in this universe or whatnot. And he's above humans and all that sort of stuff. So when he looks at the perspectives of humans, I think he's looking at it in such a different perspective. So he goes to Mars and lives out there and everything to be away and observe things. So it was definitely, you know, a great storytelling piece, you know, in an animation as well. Just Rorschach doing his investigations on, you know, the death of some of these heroes, basically, which again feels like, you know, something like that would happen in The Boys. You know what I mean? Someone going out back after these superheroes, and the one that got killed was, what's his name, Mr. Perfect or something. Captain, is that Captain? No. I
What are you talking about?
The main the guy who got killed, the comedian, sorry.
The comedian, yeah.
And when you go back and you see his backstory, you're like, well, fuck him, man. He was, oh shit, the little ones there. But you're like, he deserves to, like, again, based on the concept, he deserves to die, man. Like how terrible of a person he was, you know, in Vietnam and just as a person. You're like, cool, like he deserves to die, and he's classed as a superhero. Like this is like real world shit, you know. Just because they're classed as a superhero, you put them on a pedestal, but actually they're not perfect people. They're actually deranged and kind of crazy as well. Most of them. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. But I really like that backstory. I like, again, the animation, the voice acting, and I'm looking forward to what they give us more, because this was just chapter 1. So obviously there's more to go with this. So something I'm really looking forward to. I have not, to be honest with you. I haven't. I should.
You haven't read the comic book? Nah. If you get the chance, when you're back here, take it off me and have a read of it. And you'll kind of see what the animation kind of gets right. And as you said, the storytelling seems better. Like, you know, when you see the Black Crusade, when the guy is reading the comic book outside, but he's actually reliving it, but it's interconnected. And I think that's where it shows the interconnection really well. So it's basically, as you said, about real life superheroes being in real life, and how, you know, how governments will control it, how corporations will do that. But yeah, awesome. I'm looking forward to chapter 2.
Yeah, no, again, it just kind of puts you back to make you ask the question: if there was real life superheroes, how would it really turn out to be? Would they be controlled, or would they be really superheroes and do the right thing when needed? I mean, this is where the whole Civil War situation comes in from the Marvel comics and whatnot. Like, and Cap saying, I would need to do the right thing. We can't have a government body, because we clearly see in the real world when the government make decisions, they're doing it out of their own interest, not the world's interest.
Yeah, exactly.
Human being values and whatnot. So, you know, it asks that question: do we really want superheroes in the world? I don't know. But great watch.
You know what? I wouldn't, bro. I wouldn't. Now that you put that out there.
I mean, listen, if you get someone as pure as Captain America, I'm talking about the real Captain America, not what we spoke about last week, or as pure as Superman, maybe. But again, you don't know. So I don't know. Like, it's a tough one.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree. As a guy who loves comic books, who loves fantasy, who loves that work, I wouldn't want it, bro. I wouldn't want that. Add to the drama that we as human beings cause. Because I think us as human beings, we're still, as you can see, horrible to each other. So to have a super being there that will throw a monkey wrench in the humanity of how people think about things. So keep it as fantasy, you know, not reality. Because I think, and that's weird, bro, me saying, you know what, I'd love to fly, I'd love to have these powers, blah, blah, blah.
But you have to ask yourself, forget a superhero, what would you do if you woke up tomorrow, Superman? What would you do? Man. And then you think you're doing the right things. There's a whole group of people who think that you're doing the wrong thing. But how would you, and not even just doing the right thing, is like, how would you take action in certain places like Gaza or whatever? Like, how would you take action? Would you be violent? Would you be peaceful? Would you use your powers to, you don't know. So at the end of the day, if you wake up as Superman and have the same emotions that you do right now, how does that dictate how you're going to control your actions? You know what I
100%.
mean? So it's a difficult
100%.
one. It's a difficult
Hey.
one.
Little Nia is saying, "Hey, can you hear her?" So she's seen Sasa.
Hey,
That's right. You see
hey.
Sasa? Oh,
Oh,
mashallah. You recognize him when he comes on TV. Yeah.
oh.
Oh, you want the headphones? Oh, man, you got wet hands, man. What the hell was that? Is that loft? Bro, she's cheeky now, bro. Proper cheeky. Mashallah. Oh, your venom tongue. Ah, she's trying to show you the venom tongue. Anyway, that's why I lifted the camera up so she doesn't get in the way.
All right, we'll see.
All
I'll
right,
catch
cool.
up with her later.
Yeah.
All right. The next thing,
Okay, Baba.
Idris went to this one. I think Atia took Idris to this one. Harold and the Purple Crayon. Have you seen this?
No, so I haven't seen this yet. Ati said that. Sorry. Ati enjoyed it. She said she had good fun with it. Same thing with Idris. Idris really had good fun with it. He understood the meaning of being creative and where it can take you and have an imagination.
Definitely. This was one of the better films I saw, like compared to be it The Union or
Yeah.
some other films that we recently watched. This was one of the better films because, like, look, Zachary Levi, he's always like kind of charming and fun to watch on screen. He's very animated and whatnot. So this is a perfect kind of role for him. And yes, yeah, the philosophy of just being creative, you know, don't let that will help create your life. You know what I mean? You don't have to be stuck to a specific, even if you're stuck to a specific structure or whatnot, having that creativity in life can help move your life in a certain direction. It was actually a beautiful story of a young innocent kid or someone from a book or whatnot who was just using creativity to help people as much as he can, and just being so innocent, and you know, unfortunately use that to help the wrong people who try to use you know, creativity and stuff like that for the wrong reasons. You know, I mean, that's an element of it too. But what it should never do is one thing you should never do is just kind of stop your creativity growth. Even if you're in a job and you got family and you got to pay bills, have that element of creativity of something that you enjoy, you know. So it was a beautiful story. It was nice, it was funny, you know, it was easy to watch. The cast of Zachary Levi, Riley Howland, Benjamin. Let me just check the names, man.
There we go.
He will well Howley, he's funny.
Lil Ro, bro. Lil Ro.
Lil Vel. All right, Zoe. Yeah, all these names. I can't pronounce many names. But yeah, it was nice. And
We've got to get better at doing this.
I
Who's
know,
the
listen,
director of this movie?
I want to play respect to everyone's name. I just can't read, man.
Well, no,
Director,
we have to. Yeah, Carlos Saldanha. I'm gonna give it a go. Saldanha, bro. There you go. All right, cool. All right, so it's good fun. I'll put that on my list to watch.
Lovely story. You can watch it with Alara. She would definitely enjoy it. Borderlands. All right, Borderlands. All right, you haven't seen this, and I won't go into it much. This film got slated. I mean, it was an absolute. It was like, first, before I even watched it, it was said to be an absolute flop in the cinema. Spent hundreds of millions, ended up just making a couple of million. I can see why, to be honest with you. As soon as I put it on and you watch it, immediately I can see why. Now, you had a great cast in this movie. Like, I don't want to sit here and shit on the movie, but you got Kate Blanchett, you got Kevin Hart, Jamie Lee Curtis,
Jack Black.
Look, if I was to tell you what was the best thing about the movie, I would say Jack Black's character, which was an animated robot. Basically, it was a robot, and he was the best. He was funny. He was quirky. He made you laugh. But this movie, I could listen. I've never played the video game, so any video game enthusiast, you know, who I could see, like, I don't know if it relates to the story, but I doubt it. I think if you're gonna make a video game movie, it's gotta be a long form show, man, because video games are long form content. So to put that into a movie, you gotta have a show, like, you know what they did with The
Last of Us, bro. It's a perfect
Last of Us, Fallout.
Trying to pace, yeah.
Last of Us was perfect. Fallout they put on Amazon, that was great.
Yes.
You know, the only one that was done like great as a movie was Sonic, but that's not, that game is awesome, but it's like a short form game as well. It's not really
very short form, yeah.
So that one worked perfectly. This one was bad. I mean, look, listen, there was no character building at all. And I'm sorry if they tried, but at all, I didn't feel any relation to any character throughout the whole movie, let alone the beginning or the halfway through. Throughout the whole movie, I felt nothing. Some of the characters were actually just annoying to watch. I'm not gonna pick on. I don't wanna badmouth any acting or anything like that because I can never do this shit. But the characters were kind of annoying to watch. The little girl specifically. With all respect, she's probably a great actress and whatnot.
You know what? The thing is, a lot of people really like that movie just because of her performance.
Oh, really? I found her annoying. Let's be honest with you.
Oh.
Kevin Hart, listen, man, he's awesome. Love the work.
He's trying to be the action man now, isn't it?
Just didn't feel. I don't know. It wasn't great. The animated. Sorry, man. I never want to shit on the CGI. I would never want to shit on anything. So I'm not trying to. But what I'm saying is, it just wasn't great. Like you got Borderlands, which again I've never played the games, but if like the way they describe this planet is just this hellhole Mad Max type of fucked up planet, right? Everything's so bright and colorful, and I'm just like, this just doesn't feel bad, It doesn't. It didn't give me that Mad Max type because people are dressed up like, look at the way they dressed up and like that. They're dressed up like killers and psychos and shit. But
yeah,
it's so bright and colorful, and like it just didn't look good. And then some of the animation scenes were just really bad. The CGI scenes were just really, really, really bad. And I was just like, this looks terrible. We watched this in like 2 or 3 settings, and it was bad. Like, yeah, it wasn't great. Jack Black's character was the best thing in my opinion. That's the only character.
Okay.
Like I said, I felt a connection with just because he was funny and quirky, and I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing more of him. The rest of them, terrible. So yeah, and the story and all that sort of stuff. Like I said, I don't know if it follows the video game, but it just didn't bring much out, man. I don't know. So listen, man, I wouldn't recommend it. I can see why it flopped. All respects to the creators and whatnot. You guys tried to put something out there, and I appreciate the vision and some of the action and stuff like that was kind of cool, but I will probably never watch this movie again, and I think a lot of people will never ever watch it anyway. So anyways, out on digital, if you want to watch it free, they already released it. I mean, it performed so bad on cinema within a couple of weeks, I think 2-3 weeks, they just brought it out on digital. So
okay,
you can watch it for free if you want to, so check it out.
Oh, after what I've been hearing about this film, bro, I will. You know what?
Oh, Borderlands.
I'll give it a go. But yeah, go for it, man. I haven't seen Trap yet, so
you haven't seen Trap. Okay, again, when you watch this one, I do recommend you watch. But for M. Night Shyamalan movie, I wouldn't pull it up as one of his favorite movies. I do think the movie. I don't want to spoil it for you. I do think it was great. Josh Hartnett was great. There were certain things like the first half of the movie I thought was really good, and then it takes a turn, and I'm like, you lose it. For me, it lost the element of trap because I like that concept of trap. I was like, oh, this is cool. This is an interesting concept. But I thought halfway through the movie it lost that element, and I was like, I kind of wish like
they stuck to the trap thing. Yeah,
yeah.
I can understand. I know the basis of it.
Yeah,
but somebody says. One of the reviews I heard was it feels like 2 different movies.
Exactly. And I was like, I liked movie 1. If it was 2 different movies, I liked the first part of the movie because that was the element of trap. That was a cool idea. The second part, I was like, that's just a normal thriller, chasing a killer type thing. Josh Hartnett was awesome. There was some sort of acting, and again, I don't know nothing about acting and the creative directive vision, but they have these, as you can see in this picture right here, these close-up looking into the camera type dialogues that they did, and they just felt a little bit exaggerated to me.
Yeah.
But this movie, when you watch it, we'll give it a proper review, but it does make you think about, who childhood trauma obviously plays a big part of this, and someone who you think is a lovely dad and a lovely family man just turns out to be one of the most evil people out there, and you just a loved one. Like, how do you deal with that? How does that individual deal with that, knowing what they did, and they've gone through some childhood trauma and whatnot? As a family, what have you just put your family through? And as a family and kids, how do they eventually get through it? So it makes the element, you just never know. You just never know who's what. But the element of trap was awesome. What's up, bro? You got your fist up. So anyway, guys, when you watch this, we'll give it a proper review. Guys, I do recommend checking it out, but you will, in my opinion, you will halfway through the movie feel like, oh, you kind of lost the element of trap and that excitement into it. So check it out. Kibbs, what was up? You're pumping your fist. Is there breaking news?
All right. As you know, last week they released a trailer for DC Studios' Superman, the Christopher Reeve story, which is going to be showing in selective cinemas in the States. We just found out they're going to play at the London BFI show. We just got the invite.
Oh, sick.
Amazing. That is a must for me. That's going to be
they're not showing that in Dubai, are they?
They may do. If they do, we'll reach out. Let's reach out. We'll reach out. But anyway, that's the UK one. Man, you guys got the exclusive. Please.
Sick. The brothers will be
get
there.
In trouble and put that out on the socials. Not yet, but it's that's nice. That's nice. That's like the second email we got while we're doing the podcast, and it was good news.
Yeah, 100%. We watched this movie, Cyrus. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to this movie. It's hilarious. And also,
I haven't seen that, bro.
You haven't seen this?
Is this good?
Oh my God, bro. Jonah Hill, John C. Reilly, bro. Marissa Tomei, bro. This movie is... oh my God. It's
give me a bit of a synopsis on it, bro.
Bro, it's someone trying to move on with life. Someone that feels like they can't move on until they find someone who actually understands them and appreciates them and loves and likes them for who they are, like as someone who's as quirky as them in a sense. But then this person also comes with not in a bad way, but like baggage, who's a son played by Jonah Hill, who's also got his own issues of acceptance and moving forward, and not just in general his own kind of mental health issues. And his mental health issues restricts his mother from moving on, you know? So you got one person who can't move on until you might reach the right person. You got one person that can't move on because of their love for their son, but their son also is stopping them from moving on. And then just coming to that realization of like, you know, how selfish can you be as a mother? Like, and of course a mother would do anything for their child, but you literally sacrifice, like, yes, you do sacrifice your life. It's hard, you do sacrifice your life for your kid. But when you realize and your kid understands that, like, you should let your mother live as well. You should not allow your mother to restrict them from moving on from their life. And you're actually actively helping them restrict them from moving on with their life. You know what I mean? There's a difference between where you need their support and help, which they'll be there forever, then that, as well as I don't want my mother to move on and I'm not going to allow no guy coming into their life and restrict. It's actually really good. And like I say, like the comedy, obviously you got John C. Reilly, you got Jonah Hill. There's a little bit of like dark humor. It's not like no super bad type humor or whatnot. It's like a bit of like, you know, casual dark humor and whatnot. But it is a great movie. I really enjoyed this one. I'll check it out. Oh, okay. Let's do this last. Let's do that last. So yeah, because we're gonna break that. Just real quick, couple more things. We got Sonic 3 trailer came out. Guys, check out our reaction. This looks really cool, man. This is one of those video game movies that they really feels good. This new character, Black, what they call him? Darkness? Shadow looks awesome. Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves or whatnot looks awesome. So that should be cool. This trailer, I want to touch on this, City of Dreams. Now, this movie is being endorsed by so many people, and this talks about childhood labor, slave labor, and childhood abduction. What do they call it? Slave trade. And we spoke about this a lot with the other movie, Sound of Freedom. And this is an important type of movie that exposes that. Now, it's great, and we have to check out this movie. We have to support this movie and whatnot, just like we did Sound of Freedom. It's just a shame that the same people are endorsing it. And this is my honest opinion. You endorse this movie, and you should do. And we should be tackling child freedom around the world, or human slavery around the world. But if you have no sympathy for the children that you're blowing up in Gaza, like, then your endorsement don't mean shit. What you're saying is actually bullshit, really, because you can't be telling me that, because I see your politicians and whatnot, and I'm just like, you're the same motherfucker that's funding shit over there. So really, when it comes to children, or when it comes to children slavery, when it comes to slavery in general, if it's not for all human beings, then shut the fuck up with your hypocrisy. You know what I mean? Like, if you're really
100%,
endorsing it for all
100%.
children, it should be for all children. Doesn't matter where they're from, what they look like, all children, regardless. But this movie, Seat of Dreams, guys, check out the trailer. It does expose child labor, what do you call it, trafficking and child labor, specifically from South America, I think, to the US and whatnot. But it's an important thing to watch and be educated. But again, all children in the world should be free from this, from war, from all that shit. So have to put that all out there. The last thing, I didn't even type this up, but Beetlejuice.
Go for it, bro.
I can't even spell it, bro.
Man, Betel is just
I know, fuck this. I'm not even gonna try right.
P-E-T-L-E. There you go, it's there, man.
Fucking can't even spell it.
2004, Michael Keaton, Catherine O'Hara, Winona Ryder, William Dafoe, Jenna Ortega. Bro, it's your first experience at a screening in Dubai. What was that like?
Brilliant. I spoke about the experience before. This movie, right, was actually really good, man. It was so I need to introduce the missus to the first one because she needs to watch it. We watched half of it. It felt like, well, it didn't feel like 36 years has passed. Honestly, that's how I felt. Just because of the original characters, for some reason, they don't even look old. Winona Ryder looks great. Michael Keaton with the makeup on, you can't really tell that he's got old or whatnot. It was bro, awesome. The characters, they brought it straight back. Michael Keaton's Beetlejuice was just the most exciting thing to watch. I wanted more of him, to be honest. Every time he was on screen, you're just smiling because he's so funny, so quirky and whatnot. Winona Ryder played, she played the same role, but just a bit more mature. The new characters, William Dafoe was awesome. He's awesome in everything he does. But I loved his new character and whatnot. And then it added a great element to the movie. I don't want to spoil it because you haven't seen it. In my opinion, I don't think the new characters brought any value to the movie. The old characters, which is what this is about for me personally as a fan of the original, is what drove the movie. And that's what you're like, yep, you should drive the movie because I'm here for you, Beetlejuice, and the old characters and whatnot. The new characters, I felt like, were just there to be new, add a little extra element here and there. I don't think they spoiled the movie, which is great. And I don't think they tried to overtake the movie, which was also great. So I thought that was great. And then the use of props and makeup. Now, this was something I noticed. I was like, this is cool because you can do everything in CGI. But for example, that worm, the sandworm, in the old one, when you watch it, you're like, yeah, that's a prop. It looks like it's very...
Yeah.
You know, Clay is Tim Burton style, where he does like Nightmare on the Nightmare Before Christmas and that sort of animation. In this, it was the same. And I was like, yes, that looks awesome. I love that. And all the costume design, the makeup design with all the dead people and whatnot was really cool. And it did bring back that element of like reality to cinema, the 80s cinema that we watched. And, that first movie was scary, man. We were watching the beginning. The first one, we watching the beginning, and when the two girls, I can't remember the name, but they tried to scare them out of the house before they call Beetlejuice. There's a scene where she's hanging by her neck in the closet, and she rips off her face, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's some scary shit. I can't believe I watched that as a kid. But that's the element of real props and everything, and I feel like if you CGI that stuff, you're just like, whatever. But Tim Burton done a great job of just kind of keeping to props and makeup, and this movie really brought it. Michael Keaton's freaking fantastic. There was like nothing missing, and because of all of that, like I said, it didn't even feel like 36 years has passed in this movie. I just felt like it was it's been a couple of years, you know what I mean? The story, I think, was fine and great, and I think it kind of related to the first, obviously related to the first one, but there was elements where you're like, yeah, this fits in. It's not completely different. Jenna Ortega's awesome in it. She fits in very well, but like I said, with the new characters, they add a great element to it, but they don't take over the show, in my opinion, and it sticks to what made this movie great, which was basically Beetlejuice or Winona Ryder's characters. So, brilliant.
Okay, cool.
I can't wait to watch it and then for us to go into it.
No, definitely, man. Well, hopefully, let's see, to be honest. We'll work it out. But, I mean, what you did there was a great overview anyway, which was really good. So, before we jump into this, I'm just going to go through a couple of things that I've got to see with the time I had off. Let's start with John Woo's Silent Night. With
Finally, you watched that?
Yeah, bro, it took ages to get to that, and I think what his name is Joel Kinnaman. Uh, it's interesting because this is John Woo coming back into Hollywood after almost 20, 30 years almost, bro. I feel like his last Hollywood movie, I feel like it's Mission Impossible 2. Well, I don't know. I don't know. It's been a long time anyway. I mean, he only did a couple of films, but Hard Target, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Mission Impossible 2. And then I feel like he's been out the game for a while. I know he did probably some movies in between for Hong Kong cinema, but seeing this kind of was a nice feel to the action genre. I mean, the fact that there's no dialogue in this movie, bro. We're working with raw emotions. There's like one or two words that were said, but there's this understanding between each of the actors and the characters. Oh my God, Broken Arrow. There you go. I haven't seen that in ages. That's a wicked film.
Okay, six. Yeah, I'm just trying to look for the timeline, man.
I think it was 1996, bro. That feels like
this
2009.
Yeah, he got Replacement. You know, that was 1998. Replacement Killers.
Was that John Woo?
Well, he was involved, right? No, that was Crayon.
Yeah, he was a producer. He was a producer. He didn't direct that. Anyway, so let me continue. Anyway, listen, Silent Night, watched it. Very good vibe, very different. Not amazing. It's not an amazing film, but you know, Punisher vibes. I love what they did. Very cool what they did towards the end. Almost kind of like raidish look, which was fine. Watchman Chapter 1, we talked about. I saw the Instigators with Matt Damon and Casey Affleck, and it's exactly what it is, bro. Their Boston charm that they bring to this movie is really good. So, it was just a fun watch. Again, nothing amazing when it comes to what they bring to the table. It's just they bring some banter, which I love to see, because if two people can vibe off each other like that really well, it just makes you connect to what you're watching. But again, with streaming now, they're pumping out all sorts of the stuff. It still has the issue of being classed in the same way as the Union. It's a quick watch that looks good. But again, the grittiness looked better in the Instigators. We're going to speak about The Killer. Okay, a movie that surprised the hell out of me, and I watched it on the train on the way to when I was going up to Birmingham. It was called Mark Wahlberg's Arthur the King, which is based on an athlete running across like different locations and big locations in the world and the Amazon jungle and stuff like that. And a really touching story about a man and a man's best friend. And I think it's the first movie this year that actually kind of got me emotional, bro.
I haven't even seen it. I haven't even heard of it.
Oh man, it's on Amazon Prime now. Check it out. Let me just read my quick. Arthur the King with Mark Wahlberg is a deeply touching film that truly pulls at the heartstrings of the story of a struggling man who finds hope and purpose through an unexpected friendship, which is beautifully portrayed. Wahlberg delivers a powerful performance, capturing a raw emotion of someone who feels lost, yet finds a renewed sense of self-life through his bond with a loyal companion. So it's about this dog that they found randomly when they're doing this world tour to try and win it. Builds up this bond, and bro, towards the end, it was like, oh my God, this is getting emotional. Good watch, very good watch. So check that out. That's on Amazon Prime. I got to watch Inside Out 2 the other day. Very emotional. Alara watched it first. I watched it again with her because she wanted to see where I get emotional. And the fact of continuing a story like that, and now that the person is in their teenage years, and the issues that we go through with how to sort out emotions and thought process. No wonder it's making billions in the box office. It's a great movie. I had so much fun with it. I love all the characters in it, and I love the situation. You know, because I still connect with that as an adult. You know, Pixar don't make movies for kids; they make them for adults too. So
I asked my wife about that movie. Like,
yeah.
she talks about this. She talks about parts of yourselves, meaning the different emotions, and how you all those different parts make up different make up you during the day, and how do you control those different parts, and where do those parts intertwine, where do you put some of those parts away. But in the day, every single one of those parts, every single one of those emotions make you who you are, like, and help you control your life and sort of thing. So it was actually, like, from a psychology perspective, especially what my wife kind of like does for a living, trauma therapy and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It played like from that perspective, it played a like she was able to relate to it from that perspective, and it kind of, she said like from a very simplistic perspective, the movie really breaks it down, and I was like, that's awesome.
No, that's good. That's good. That was a great watch, bro. I really enjoyed that. And yeah, I think popped a hard boiled on my phone for tomorrow's trip to Birmingham. So I'll probably catch that. And yeah, let's jump in, bro.
All right, well, let's talk about this, man, because we're going to give a good review on. We're going to do a new movie as well as a retro movie review at the same time, and we're talking about The Killer. Now, there's two versions: the 1989 movie and the new one that was just released in 2024. Both directed by John Woo. One of them is a classic. One of them falls into my top 10 best movies of all time. One of them I've watched multiple times and I'll carry on watching for the rest of my life. And the other one is the new one that just came out in 2024. Now, like, I thought it'd be important to do like the main thing about the new one, right? We'll talk about the old one because this is a classic movie, right?
I don't want to talk about the new one first, bro.
The new one, yeah. I don't want to shit on this one, right? Completely, because one, I'm biased towards John Woo. So whatever John Woo does, I'm in, right?
Yeah.
What I liked about this movie, let's talk about what I liked first, right? John Woo's action style, I always, I call it artistic killing, these John Woo
Yeah.
John Wick movies, but for John Woo, one, I think he revolutionized this action. I think his style of action, if I was to class it as music, is like classical. You know what I mean? Like his style of action is like classical. It's beautifully watched. There's music put to it. There's camera scenes and angles, and just the flow of action is very classical themed and whatnot. So I did appreciate the action on this because it was John Woo's style. He didn't have to change it or whatnot, and that's what I appreciate. I appreciate the characters. I really like the characters. Listen, I'm gonna be real with you. At first, I was like, are they gonna try and force some diverse equity stuff? It didn't feel like that. For me, it felt like the characters were naturally, like they were put naturally in there, which was awesome. So I have to be very honest with that. I did think that, but no, you know what? Omar Sy and Natalie Emmanuel were absolutely. I thought they were great. I really thought they were great. I like the relationship between them. Omar Sy is awesome. I really like him. I don't know what it's something about his acting. I can't help to always think of him as Lupin because that's where I first kind of recognized him. But he's really awesome in this movie. So those are the things I liked about the movie. My main criticism, and I'll hand it over to you in a second. My main criticism is you shouldn't have named it The Killer, because it should have been named. If you named it something else, I would have been like, cool. Like, that's a John Woo movie. I appreciate it, all good. Because you named it The Killer, there is no way I cannot now compare it to one of my favorite movies of all time, which is the Killer with Chow Yun-fat. And this movie, this new one, I'm probably never going to watch it again. The original one, I'm going to watch it countless time every couple of years because it's such a cult classic. So I wish they never called it The Killer. I wish someone was like, now let's name it something else. Yes, they use certain elements of the movie as well, which we'll touch on. But that was my only biggest criticism. Like, you shouldn't have named it The Killer. What's your thoughts on it?
Now, listen, bro. I'm gonna. How can I say it? There is elements of this movie that I really enjoyed. So Natalie and Omar, their chemistry worked really well. We have a great cast in here. We have Sam Worthington. We've got Eric Cantona playing a big boy gangster in this movie. And it didn't feel forced. I honestly think it was a fine movie up until the point where, and we're going to hit spoiler territories here, guys. And if you haven't seen the original Killer, then I don't know what to say. The point that she's in that bar where she blinds that person somehow, I felt like, it just didn't have the same impact as what the original did. So I think there's a thing there where it comes to doing a remake of this movie, or a classic one with the same director, because I felt like he must have been doing something better. But what he didn't realize is he had already something amazing. I think with this, he had a bit more of a clean structure. some of the action wasn't amazing. I didn't find it amazing, bro. It didn't really sweep me off my feet. He didn't try anything new. He didn't use any of his old techniques because of his camera angles and how some of the action scenes were. The last scene, bro, kind of really pissed me off. Daylight. Why are you doing it in daylight, man? Why is everything in daylight? There's nothing. The only night scene we got was the nightclub scene. So, but other than that, there are elements of the movie that I enjoy, but they shouldn't have called it that name. I think John Woo's action style has changed as well because I noticed it in Silent Night. It's not so. When you watch A Better Tomorrow, Hard Boiled, and you watch The Killer, you will know exactly what I'm saying. He does the artistic killing, but he does artistic action on a level where I can't even compare him to any other director because every other director in Hollywood stole his ideas. Not stole, but borrowed his ideas.
Inspired by him, yeah.
Inspired by his ideas. Let's reword that. So I found this movie to be a hard watch because I was criticizing it as I was watching it, which is a shame because I've never been that type of person. But because it's connected to such a big IP where you're like, oh my God, the original director's to come back to do this, and yet still he didn't need to really truly do this.
I think that was the problem because it was a remake of the original, which is a classic. So when you do a remake and it's again like it should have just changed the name. I think that was the simplest solution. Should not have called it The Killer because you've used certain scenes, like say certain elements of the original movie where, you know, it's just hard not to compare it. And we've spoken about this movie so many times. I mean, the original Killer 1989, starring Chow Yun-fat and Sally Ye,
Danny
Lee. Bro,
Yeah.
everything about this movie, everything about it is revolutionary. You had a killer who worked by a code of ethics, who had this emotion of regret of the job that he does. He was actually the good guy. You're actually cheering for the good. He was actually the good guy in the movie, even though he was the killer, the assassin. You had an actor playing an action star, which is Chow Yun-fat, meaning that he could pull off those emotions. You could see it in his eyes when in that movie, The Killer, when the innocent girl got her eye, the lady got her eye blind and that was his fault. The innocent girl gets shot. He would do whatever, like, you know what I mean? You see the regret in his in the profession that he's taken and trying to help them. You had Danny Lee as a cop who was just absolutely amazing as like a hard-boiled type of cop. Again,
yeah.
Same characters but different principles, same characters, same principles, but just different lines of work on the opposite line of the spectrum. But they're the same people, with that as well. And then like the music. Well, I don't even know Chinese and Cantonese, right? But the music, the soundtrack of The Killer was so epic. The theme tune and even Sally Yen's tune. But listen, this movie's so great and so epic. They came out in 1989 where there was no YouTube and any of that sort of stuff. It's just video cassette. Us random kids in Tottenham got hold of it from a video shop. Not just us. I'm talking about you had the Wu-Tang Clan in Staten Island quoting this movie, watching this movie. You had Terror Squad quoting, I'm a killer like Chow Yun-fat. This is before the internet, right? So this movie was that great and made such an impact where you tell like it's word of mouth. Boy, you gotta watch this movie, The Killer. It's a Hong Kong movie. It's like, why am I gonna watch a foreign movie? Trust me, you to watch this movie. Like I said, you got rappers, you got people like us watching it. That's how you know you've made such a great movie that it just transcends over the world. And this is before the internet. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. You could just pull it on and watch it. The action is revolutionary, bro. The way he's so smooth. Chow Yun-fat's so smooth. The beginning scene where he pulls the gun out and just John Wicks and all that stuff, amazing. This, something else. That last scene in the church, one of the best action scenes in my opinion. Just almost like a video game, man. Just shooting the shit out of bare people in white. I love that because it doesn't have to be realistic. Everyone was in white. And the boss was in like black. And just kill up everyone. I loved it. There's so much great things about this movie. Like the fact that, he dies at the end. Like that was heartbreaking. You felt for him. He wanted...
Because he wanted to do good. He wanted to be good. The thing is, he is a good character. The fact that you're seeing him save innocent people in the process and he doesn't want innocent people involved, it plays a big part to his character building. And I think that's what Danny Lee characters as Dumbo, the character, kind of uh, finds a common ground with him to say, "Oh, you're an unusual killer," and he'd be like, "I'm an unusual cop." You're an unusual cop. Like that bond that they build between them is amazing. And watching it again the other day, bro. Like, look, shout outs to Daniel One who did the soundtrack. I absolutely love that soundtrack. But it's not that. What John Woo did there, as you said, revolutionary. That opening scene where he's killing people in the restaurant, the messiness to it, the way it looks, how smooth Chow Yun-fat looks. That's because of John Woo's direction. And it's really hard to kind of capture that sort of style now because everything looks so clean. But even with like something like John Wick, as clean as it looks, as good as it looks, the colors look great, the killings are awesome, the action is awesome. Nothing still beats the feeling of what this movie gives to me when I watch it. Because, bro, there were scenes, the scene. I mean, this famous scene when they pull up the guns in front of each other.
When they first meet, this is the first time they first meet at eye, face to face.
I love that. It's because of that, it's
Yeah.
that, oh, like, what's going to happen? Are they going to be okay?
They're so professional. Like, they're so cool and professional. They didn't want to want Jenny to be in any harm or whatnot, or what they didn't want to what you call it, mess her up or anything. So like, they made up a little story, called each other Dumbo and Mickey Mouse. I think one of them was the original one. I think was Shrimp Head and something, right?
Yeah. The way they dubbed this movie, the dub I watched was Mickey Mouse and Dumbo, but the killer's name is Jeff. We don't know his full name.
My name is Jeff.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great film, bro.
Great movie.
Like it's funny watching it again. Like there's key moments that John Woo picked out that really works. Even transitions. Some people will find it weird, but when something good happens, it pauses and the track keeps playing. I love that, bro.
Love that.
Like it's like cheesy, but it works because in real life would be like that as well when we've cracked a case or something good has happened.
It's a moment.
We'll have that moment. That moment is captured. They don't do that in films no more. There's only a hand selected of directors that do that, but John Woo did that great because he did that in all of his films all the way.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. And like I say, the action that they plays out throughout this whole movie, it is so artistic. It's so great. And then the emotions between it. I remember the scene where they were in the house and they were trying to get Jenny out so they can go like move on to the church and whatnot. But just that between him and the cop when his friend died, right? Remember the cop's partner died and he was like, I vowed to take you in. I blame you for his death and whatnot. But there was an element of like we have to work together because we know that the bigger bad guy was the organized crime and whatnot, man. But it's just, again, the emotions between them, man, it's so good. And this is what I'm saying about like you had these great actors like Chow Yun-fat, Danny Lee playing these action stars, and it wasn't an action movie. This is like, a mixture of like action movie with like thriller and just like A-class acting, in my opinion, from that time and whatnot. I mean, it's just brilliant. Even the way they dressed, I'm sorry, but even how cool they dressed and all that sort of stuff. I don't know, there was such a coolness to this, bro. Their clothing,
bro, look, man.
Their slick back hair.
What's his name? Dumbo. Is it Dumbo? His name was Lee, right?
Yeah.
Detective Lee. With his, what made me laugh was his Beetlejuice suit, bro.
Yeah.
His worn out Beetlejuice suit, bro.
That's true.
And listen, this is what the new one didn't have. Was that deeper connection within the characters. And I feel like that's where them two really worked well. But then Jeff's friend in the original, which was played by Sam Worthington, and they called him Finn in this one, which is the twist in this movie. I felt like that key relationship is what made him get to that last point of the film, because at the end of the day, he wanted to still honor his friend by getting that money to him.
Yes.
And in the process, where in the new one, Finn becomes the leader of it all and backstabs.
Both of them, both sides, right? So the cops friend was a traitor to him, and
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, both of them. So it was the same thing, but both of them were traitors to each other. So basically, they didn't have any friends in their line of business. There is no friends, I guess, from that perspective. But
exactly,
I prefer the loyalty of friendship in the original film because, as you said, like end of the day, even though he betrayed him in the beginning in the original movie, that loyalty of friendship was there. You know what I mean? Like that's what a man has at the end of the day was that loyalty.
Exactly.
And he wanted to do whatever he can to bring his that money to him. You know what I mean? He didn't want to be like, as he put it. I don't want to die like a dog. I don't want to like.
I love that scene.
And same
I
with
love
the
that scene.
yeah.
love
That
that
scene was
scene.
emotional when he had to
That
kill
got
him.
me, bro.
Bro,
That got me. And then he got up in the white suit. Like those key things they changed. Put the tie around his bullet hole. The one thing that the original did on that last battle scene in the church, what Omasai was wearing. Did you see what he was wearing in the shotgun he had? That was Chain Fat's character in A Better Tomorrow.
Ah, yes, yeah.
Yeah, the trench coat, the same clothing. That was a homage to that movie.
Definitely.
So,
but if you
as a fan, you'd pick out on those things. But
listen, like I said, this is one of our favorite movies of all time. So when you do a remake and you're seeing the scene, you're like, oh, that's that scene, that's the church scene, that's the relationship, so you can't help it, right? But with remakes, you try to accept it for what it was, and I tried that my best. But because you made it exactly the same, it was hard not to. But when you just look at some of these images from the original movie, I mean, look at some of these poses, some of these pictures. That alone tells you the cinematography. I mean, in my opinion, I don't know if I'm being biased, but look at this picture right here. Look at these double guns and the like. There's a cinematography behind this that you can see where, again, the new one just didn't have that. Like I said, I tried to appreciate for what it is, and I did enjoy it. But I will never watch that again. This one, I guarantee, will watch. I watched it this week. I watch it again.
It's iconic, bro. They didn't have iconic scenes like this, and I think that's what we're losing. We'll only get that in certain movies.
This guy, like right here, Fu On Xing, he's a real villain. Look at his face, man. He looks like a real villain, dude. But yeah, I mean, even the soundtrack. I mean, bro, like when the soundtrack is on my phone and I don't even understand the language, but it's just that good. It's just epic. This movie goes down, like I said to me, I think it falls in my top 10. I mean, there's so many movies, maybe like top 50.
Same here, bro. Top 10.
Top 10, no doubt about it, man. Such a great movie. If you haven't seen The Killer, if you had to pick between either one, 100% you've got to pick the 1989 original with Chow Yun-fat. This is John Woo classic. John Woo, the most epic. And again, I think like a revolutionary in movies. It has to fit in the timeline of action movies, no doubt about it. Great movie, man.
No, absolutely amazing, guys. If you haven't seen it, go check it out and watch the new one as well. Listen, man, John Woo still brings something to it, but it's just, you know, when you're young, you're at that age and you're getting out in the industry. Like The Killer is crucial to, I think, Hong Kong cinema, but in cinema in general, anyway. For when it comes to action, he absolutely smashed the original Killer movie. There's so much more appreciation that I have for that film now. Even watching it the other day, fresh in my head, because I knew we were going to do this, but I was like, what movies do I download to my iPad? And the first two films I downloaded was Hard Boiled and The Killer. And I was like, oh, if we're going to talk about this, let me watch this. Which was hard enough not to compare because as you know, we're two fans that enjoy pop culture and movies. We're not here to shit on anybody's work. So I appreciate what John did on the new one. I appreciate what everybody done on that one. It just didn't have, in a way, some people would still say we're shitting on it, but it just doesn't. You know, like we're like old now, so we're like dad. What dad would say is nothing compares to what the original came out. We are that guy. We are that guy now, because we can't get off what the original gave to us. You know what I mean?
I think the solution is you should have just named it something else. There you go. Different movie, John Woo movie.
Yeah,
could have
really
appreciated
good,
for voice.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the cult classic. Amazing. Guys, check out The Killer, please. I would. This is a movie I actually want people to watch. Like, hey man, please watch this movie. Like, I watched this in cinema in Hong Kong when I went there.
Man.
Bro, epic feeling, man.
I would have loved that. I mean, luckily I got to be on Victoria Peak where they parked up the cars. The locations, awesome, absolutely awesome,
amazing,
absolutely awesome.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, that was all our movie reviews for this week. We're gonna just quickly go through some news and end it there. But let's go for some news. So, Marvel celebrates its 85th anniversary. Marvel Comics through the decades. On August 31st, 1939, the release of Marvel Comics 1939 issue 1 birthed something special in the Marvel Universe. From the streets of New York to the far reach of the multiverse, the Marvel Universe opened readers up to countless strange tales and journeys into mystery with its heroes, villains. Since the early days of the Timely Comics and Atlas Comics, the House of Ideas and has chronicled the adventures of sensational and uncanny and the astonishing. I'm not going to read anymore. But anyway, this was on marvel.com, but they just celebrated 85 years. Listen, man.
Happy 85 years, guys. You guys smashed
birthday.
it. More to come.
Yeah.
That trailer gave me goosebumps. It's always nice to be a fan, to be a part of the journey. I think that's what they've done great with comic books, is make fan part of the journey. And I feel like with us on our journey, we have fully indulged into it. So, no, man, shout outs to Marvel Studios. Shout outs to the Blade movie being made, for it to continue to the way it has, for me to see my characters represented on the big screen.
That's it, man. And the comic books, I still read.
Yeah.
I still read them. I still enjoy them.
Same here.
I've got,
Same here.
They've done an amazing job to just build this universe, and now they put to a point where it's so mainstream, like it's not really like, it's not kiddie stuff. It never was. I mean, at one point maybe, and some characters, yes, but really now everyone's really understanding that these are relatable characters, and it brings people so much joy in the world and takes people out of their own reality and puts them into other characters and gives the element of hope in characters and people. So love it. Love it. On the Marvel news, James Spader returns as Ultron for Marvel's Vision series. So I've done a little short on this, but he's back. The Vision series, I forgot about him for a second. So it's great that they're bringing that back, and they're great they're bringing Ultron back, because I think there's an element of a relationship and story that needs to be told there, which is exciting. So I'm happy they're bringing him back, and they're giving us more of Ultron, because Ultron's a big villain. And, that movie was great. I loved it. It wasn't one of the best Marvel Avengers movies, but it was cool. And I think we deserve more of Ultron, and I think I'm looking forward to that.
No, same here, bro. Let's see what they do.
I said the next one is, this one was cool. You done a little short of this. Are we going to get a Gambit movie? I tried to play this, man. So they released the deleted scene from Deadpool Wolverine. This was done intentionally to make the whole world be like, are we getting a Deadpool movie? But it's basically...
Gambit movie.
Gambit movie, but Gambit surviving the void. I mean, he looks so cool. They got the costume design.
He looks so good, bro.
It's the most comic book accurate costume ever, I swear.
100%.
Do we get this movie? Come on, guys, give it to us. I feel like Kevin Feige's going to do it. He's going to make it happen.
You think so?
I think so.
He needs to make it happen, man. I think it's important that we get this movie into this universe now. Listen,
Gambit will be part of the mutant universe, so we're going to get it. Let's move on to some DC news. Batman Cape Crusader Season 2. So, this looks like it's happening. And I was reading here. This is on Screen Rant, by the way.
Okay.
The studios I'm just kind of reading through it. The response to Season 1 has been mostly positive, with an excellent Rotten Tomatoes scores. We gave a review, and guys, do check it out. It was absolutely awesome. The studios has confirmed Season 2, which is well into production. So that is great. Producers Abrams and Reeves.
Abrams,
Abrams and Reeves said the joint statement with the series was first announced that the series will be thrilling, cinematic, and advocating of Batman's. Sorry, Batman's your roots, while driving deeper into the psychology of these iconic characters. Looking forward to it. Season 1 was.
Let's do this, bro. I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be something that I'm very, very interested in. I really enjoyed it. As you know, we both really enjoyed it. We got stuck into it straight away. So let's see where it goes next.
All right. Well, here's some other exciting DC news. Josh Brolin has reportedly been offered the role as Hal Jordan in the upcoming DC series the lanterns. Now, I haven't seen anything of him accepting it, but everything's saying that he's been offered the role. Now, some people make some comments that he's too old or whatnot. I mean, Josh Brolin, anything he does is awesome. But let's see what they do. I mean, he doesn't have to be the main lantern, even if he's old. Maybe he could be like Hal Jordan's been there from ages. Do they just go with who's the one that comes after Hal Jordan?
John Stewart.
John Stewart. Maybe they could do that. Maybe they could go with that. But listen, man, Josh Brolin will be awesome in this. I think he'll be awesome as Hal Jordan. It depends as well, like how long do they want, are these characters are going to be signing up for? 10 years, 20 years, 5 years? We don't know, but this is big though. Josh Brolin's big. And DC Universe building up their universe. Like they're building up their characters and this is exciting for that universe. So I like this kind of news because you're like, yeah, they're working on it and they're working on these people and they're working on these series and stuff like that. So it's a fun announcement, I think. We'll wait and see to see.
I don't know, but we'll wait and see. Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna. Let's see what he says. Like, no harm, but I just wanted a younger Hal Jordan.
Well, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what they do.
Yeah, definitely.
Jurassic World Rebirth. They just released new screenshots and stuff like that with Scarlett Johansson. But you know what? Who else is in this, man? I was about to say Ed Sheeran. I was like, what the fuck? Mahershala Ali's in this. I'm a massive fan of him. So he's in this as well. The Jurassic Park, well, I can't believe they're still making these movies and making new ones and whatnot. I don't even know how you keep taking this movie. But anyway.
New franchise, new direction. It'd be interesting to see what they do, bro.
We shall wait and see what they do with these dinosaurs. All right, finishing up. Irv Gotti confirms DMX biopic in the works. So listen, old school hip hop fans, we lost DMX. It's been like 2 years now. I mean, one of the greatest rapper. Like when I say greatest, I mean that Rough Riders tune, man. When you see some old clips of him in the concert and that goes on, man, he knows how to hype up a crowd. It's crazy. He had a very unique voice. He was like a poet. He would, when he would do his like kind of like prayers through the tunes, it was like very poetic. He was very thoughtful. Obviously, he went through a lot, man, and like drug addictions and stuff like that near the end of his life. But DMX goes down in the history. A lot of those 90s rappers go down in the history books of just revolutionizing hip hop and just being there for that 90s hip hop, man, which is, in my opinion, would never be, nothing can ever take that over. So
no, man, definitely. I think this will be amazing to see. It'll be interesting to see the progress of where they go with this and who's going to be playing him, somebody new coming to the scene. So no, props to him, man. His music is, for us, a generational thing where it made such an impact in our lives. So I can only see good things coming for this, man. Definitely,
man. Definitely. Keep it on the 90s hip hop. Someone else making record, breaking records is Eminem, man. And I've got the thing right here, man. Let me just quickly read it out for you. Again, someone who falls into 90s hip hop, which I'm grateful. Like, I listen, I'm sorry, but I do listen to his older stuff compared to his new stuff. His new stuff is still great, but his old stuff I'm always gonna have on repeat. Because that's always going to be. I'm a 90s kid, man. When it comes to hip hop, I'm a 90s guy. Eminem has once again made history. Marshall has officially sold over 50 million pure albums in the United States. He becomes the first
$1 million.
Yeah, he becomes the first rapper ever to reach this milestone. Pure album sales refers to the number of physical albums sold, excluding digital downloads and streaming. In other words, it represents the actual copies of albums purchased and distributed on physical format like CDs and vinyls. So that's big. So not even considering digital downloads and whatnot. So think about that, man. That's huge. And he's one of the best to do it. Let's be real. He's one of the best to do it.
Good on him. Good on him. Definitely good on him. That's amazing.
All right, lastly, to finish off with some geeky news, the Nintendo Museum. Guys, I think it's coming out it's being opened or released in October in Kyoto, Japan. So if you're planning a trip to Japan and you plan to do a trip to Kyoto, check out the Nintendo Museum. I thought this was a good shout to give, one, because of video games, and two, who doesn't want to go to Japan? Everyone loves Japan.
No, exactly.
Such a great place. Oh my God, I wish I could live there, man. If I could change things, anything in my timeline, I definitely would have left Hong Kong earlier to go live in Japan for a couple of years before I moved to Singapore, because Japan's, well, I wish we could experience together, man. Like, it is such a great town, city, or country, should I say. And Tokyo, Kyoto, all these places. Japan is the best, bro. Inshallah, one day we can all take a long vacation in Japan, like 10 days or
That'd be lovely.
2 weeks. I won't do it justice. I'm talking about a good month there just to hang out in Japan. It would be amazing. Japan's the spot to be. So guys, check out the Nintendo Museum. All right, guys, man, that was all the news we've had for the week. Those are all the movies we watched. It's a lot, man. Kibla, anything else? Anything else before we call it?
No, that's it, guys. Man, as always, man, very, 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 very grateful for the love that you guys show to this podcast. When you guys are watching it, when you guys are listening to Spotify or Amazon or Apple Podcasts, it's always great to see how many people come through. And we want to make it more interactive. We want you guys on as guests. We want you to ask us questions, new things to cover on here. I mean, I did put out some questions last week, but nobody actually responded. So, if there's something that you want us to cover, something to watch, something to read, something to talk about, let us know. I mean, the podcast has grown into like different avenues of what we do. So check it out. As always, if you like it, click on that like button, click on that dislike button. If you don't, drop a comment, let us know your thoughts and interact with us, guys. Honestly, subscribe to the channel. If it's not for you guys, we're not able to do some of the cool stuff we get to do. Again, we're two fans that love pop culture. We are not critics. We are not professionals. We just love what we do.
That's it. That's it. All right. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, all the other good stuff. We're all over the socials, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, all that shit. I just joined Fred. I don't know what the hell that is. All right, guys, we out. Peace.
Peace.